For as long as I can remember, I've always had one particular favorite color.
Said I made up my mind this time. I'm taking it over. Modest tranquility. Said I made up my mind this time. I'm taking it over.
Not everything always goes according to plan. The plan was that I would keep driving that Mitsubishi for a good while. My wife Bonnie would be driving in the Nissan that she had for hopefully another 3 to 4 years. It was a 2013. 13 years old at this point. It was getting on there. But thought we might have a couple more years out of it. Yeah, that didn't happen. Not everything goes according to plan. Our hope was to get, by that point, within 3 to 4 years, we'll be in a house, we'll get her an electric vehicle that we can charge at home, and she just commutes back and forth to work. I don't really have a commute at this point in time. And I was thinking, well, I'd get something electric at that point too, but maybe something that has the most range was something, it was what I was looking at and what I was considering, but that plan's out the window. Her car had some car trouble that we went and took it to a mechanic, and they went, yeah, you got to replace these parts on it. And we went, well, we just did 2 years ago. They went, well, got to do it again. It's another $2,000 in labor and parts. The parts had a warranty, but there was a whole thing with that. Like, either way, we knew it was going to be time. It sucks. Axle Assemblies, once again, did that just a few years ago. Called the place. They went, well, our own, our warranties for a year. The parts themselves should have a lifetime warranty, but only if you use the same supplier that we use. So you'll have to have your mechanic contact our mechanic. It was a whole runaround that we went through everything. And in the end, it was still going to cost over $1,000 in labor anyway. It was like, this 13-year-old car is starting to become, we're not there yet, but it's probably starting to become a money pit that the more we put into it, we're not going to see that much out of it. And it's true. And so, long story short, she traded in that. And we bought this. Because it's still, our plan is to get her an electric vehicle in the next 3 years or so. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense for her to go all in and get a car that most likely won't even be paid off in 3 years unless we really throw a lot extra at the payments, for us to just turn around and get her something that we know the plan is to get her an electric vehicle. She can make the most use out of that. And I will get one later down the road at some point. So then it became my turn I just did this. I had the Mitsubishi in 2020. But Mitsubishi's running just fine. It's going to be fine for a while. Just had it checked out by a mechanic and they said everything was good. So, a 2020 Audi Q3. Maybe the Q stands for Quattro. There's Quattro along it. I'm not really a car guy. I am an orange guy. As you might have guessed by some of the things that I've already done to touch up here and there. It's nice. It's really nice. This is, from what I look up, maybe entry level, but a luxury car brand. Whereas everything else I've owned before, which would be a 96 Ford Escort that I had for about a year before it died. They brought it back to life, but by that point I was having trouble with it stalling on me on the interstate, and it was not a manual. So that was not great. I then got a 97 Ford Taurus, which was slightly better, an old undercover police car. That meant really nothing except for that there were holes in the ceiling and little switches on the dash that didn't do anything because obviously everything had been pulled out at that point. I drove that for many years until it started having real bad issues, and I just kept, the alignment was so bad, and they went, look, we're going to have to tear out all of this in order to completely replace your axles and everything, like all of the undercarriage things that I know really not too much about. But it was more expensive than I ever even paid for the car, at paying $1,000 for it, and it was going to be $2,000 or $3,000 to get that fixed. And they went, you can drive it. It's not the safest thing, but it's fine. Just be aware that you're going to burn down because we can't do an alignment, and the alignment is so far off, you're going to run through tires. So just go buy used tires. And I did for a couple more years and got a bit more use out of it until it really started going, and I really didn't want to use it anymore. And then I bought a Hyundai Sonata. Because I knew my dad had one, it fit me, it felt good. I was still buying sedans at that point, and that was great. Used that for many years. Then I started getting into this whole video camera recording thing and started taking a lot of stuff with me and filling that trunk and needing more space. And I went, SUV not be a bad idea. Might not be a bad idea. And then we moved across the country to a place that gets snow and went, four-wheel drive seems like a good idea as well. Hence the Mitsubishi. And I've been driving that Mitsubishi this whole time. I've had it now for almost 6 years. It's been perfectly fine. I don't put a lot of mileage on it because all I do is the stuff you see in these videos as far as going places. So it's barely over 50, or it's just under 50,000 miles for a 2019. I don't drive it all that much. It's great. So then I started looking at cars and trying to figure out, and there was an opportunity to get the car I've always wanted a color of. Maybe not this car, although I'm very impressed with everything in here, but orange. Always wanted an orange car. I got my dream color. Couldn't be happier. It's great. There are little things I'm getting used to here that are just tweaks of niceness and also bougie. I have to be real. There are some things that are just straight up bougie about the car. There is a light in the door that shines the symbol of the car down onto the ground so that when you open the door and it's not full sunlight out, it's an Audi. That's a little unnecessary, isn't it? There are, in the settings over here, there's one where you can see an image of the car. Not like a live view, like with the really fancy, electronics, so you can see what's going around with from cameras. No, it's just an image. It's just an image of the car in your dash. Because why not? I wish it was orange. I wish they actually showed an orange vehicle in there. That's okay. It's fine. It is what it is. And there's so many nice things about it. I love the color. I looked it up. I looked at several of them because this is a 2020. And the argument, of course, was if you're going to get another car, and the point is that it should last longer than your current one, why are you going from a 2019 to a 2020? Why would you not get something newer? And so looking in that price range of everything that was around there, there was another Audi of a similar price that was a 2023. But it had more than 50,000 miles on it. And I was like, ooh, that means someone's driven that, and it was a fleet vehicle, and it had an accident history and everything to it. All of those things are good, rational reasons for what I understand about car buying. But you know what it didn't have is the orange suede on the trim inside. And I gotta say, when I went and picked it up from the dealership with the guy there who was doing all that stuff, and he went and pulled it around, he was like, man, that orange suede in there is a really nice touch. And I went, I know, I was looking at another one that didn't have it, and it came down to this. And I'm not going to say that was a zero, influence on it. It definitely is a nice touch, and I really like it. I have put the orange trim in here, obviously the steering wheel cover, an orange charging cable. I've done little things here and there to bring more orange into it, and it's nice. It's really nice. It feels good. It's not that much more in horsepower, but it does have a turbo, and you can feel it. It's got get up and go that my old car did not, that none of my cars have ever had. And yeah, it's pretty fun. I enjoy it very much. It is really, really nice. And it is not that bad of an orange. As long as I can remember. I've liked the color orange, but so many people have been like, ugh, not that orange. That's too orange. That's obnoxiously orange. I've heard obnoxiously orange about the things I get that are orange my entire life. And I admit the car itself is not that obnoxious. But it did come with, not a roof rack, but these roof rails. They're crossbars. It's what you attach the rack to. And they're silver. Can you guess what I did? Yeah. Can of Plasti Dip fixed that up real quick. Now it's awful. Now it's terrible. Now, of course, it doesn't match. Of course, it's not, made to go with it. Now it stands out. Now it's perfect. It's obnoxiously orange, and I love it. It's so good. Anyway, I'm really happy with it. I'm still discovering things like, putting into the navigation that's built into the car. I know that there is a subscription through Audi that I refuse to pay for. I will not be having any of that. So I'm sure that there's a way to update the navigation that's in there. There's also an SD card slot and a SIM card slot. There's those two in the glove box that if I wanted to insert those cards and pay more money, the SD card slot, I think I can just load music on there so I have it offline, which I will absolutely do. But I also know it's used for updating the firmware, the software, I should say. So I will do that. It's just that I went and looked online and they were like, you need to know your exact version in order to know what to upgrade to. And I have yet to get around to doing that. So I'll try that and see if that upgrades the navigation. Otherwise, I think it's navigation from about 6 years ago, because I can put in like the name of a reservoir to go bird watching. And obviously that's going to be there and it knows what that is. But I can put in like a place of business that I was going to go to that's only been around for 3 years, and it has no idea what that is whatsoever. So as a backup, you can see I also have a secondary screen. It was kind of put into use because I got it for Bonnie's car only a month ago, and now she no longer has that car and doesn't need it because the Mitsubishi's got the full infotainment center with the driving directions. She's happy with that. I don't mind putting an extra thing in here. I will tell you, it's stupid and it's unnecessary because my car for Android Auto and Bluetooth and everything goes into the phone, my main phone. So how can I can't do two. You have to pick one. So I have second phone with offline maps specifically for the purpose of being able to look up addresses and then input them into here. Is that worth it? Absolutely not, but it's silly and I like it. It doesn't do that much as far as anything else, but it's kind of putting it to use and I enjoy it. So I'm happy with it. I'm happy with everything about it. I'm sure I will discover more things as I'm going. I just got it washed. Ooh, I washed it and it really pops in that sunlight. I'm glad I did that because it was getting kind of dusty. I've had it for about a week now, and just going out and doing the bird watching, we've been on some off roads, we've been down some dirt roads, and it's gotten a little dirty. I'm gonna have to regularly wash it, keep up the maintenance of it. Some features. Did I mention a few of my favorites so far? The kick to open trunk is actually extremely useful when I got my hands full of camera equipment. Usually I'd have to set that down, pull it out, open the trunk, just kick it open, kick it closed. It's great. Fantastic. Love it. Sunroof. Sunroof's another one of my favorite features here. This is fantastic. I have never had a car with any kind of sunroof before or anything. And boy, let me tell you, I've been enjoying driving down the road with the wind blowing through my, well, not hair, but you know what I mean. I will tell you one last little story here, which I have now been thinking of for over a week since I got this car. I worked at Walmart for a time. And when I was working at Walmart, I worked with a guy, older guy, great guy, so funny, just a good-natured person to be around. And he always talked about he wanted to own a gas station storefront convenience store, family, mom and pop type thing, hire all of his friends, bring his family in. Everybody would own a share of it. Like he had business plans to shareholder type things to spread it around and be really nice. And that was really cool. And That was unrelated to anything. It was just a good story about everything he had. He was a car guy. He definitely liked it. But while we worked at Walmart, we had these rolling carts, stainless steel. They would get messy. We'd clean them, things like that. He had his cart that he would take care of. And you could tell the difference because all the other ones clearly went through it and people were just like wiping them down and being done. He took the time to like polish this one. It shined, it sparkled, and he made sure, and he used to joke about, he's like, those old guys, they get out and they're driving the Maserati or, the really expensive name brand cars and things like that. And they get out of the car and they look and they see a little scratch and they use like the elbow of their nice jacket to, and he would do that as a joke. He would see like a spot on his little cart and like get his elbow down there and clean it. And I've been thinking about that man a lot now that I own this car because I absolutely keep a pack of towels, little microfiber towels, just to clean up anything. And I've cleaned a couple bird poops off of the car already. I've had, it's come in use, and cleaning the dash and things like that. It's nice to always bring a towel. It's good, Anyway, I couldn't be happier. I thought that it would be worthwhile. Great, because obviously I have a new car and I'm super excited about it to make a video just because I really, really enjoy this. For as much as I don't know that much about cars, I know I like this a whole lot. And also because clearly the interior would change for all of the videos that I'm going to be recording when all of a sudden you get pops of orange all over the place, or you're looking at the dash and you can see the hood of the car is bright orange. If that went unexplained, be a little strange. But I think it's time I go for a drive. I've still got to figure out where I want cameras and such in here, how I want to position things, looking out the dash. We don't have quite as big of a window as we did on the last one, I don't think, but I'll figure it out. It's just going to take some trial and error. And in the meantime, I'm going to drive around and just enjoy. Because it is a smooth ride. I can't say how much of an improvement it is over my last vehicle. Stats and numbers don't mean all that much. I looked it up at one point. They both have around 200 something horsepower, nothing crazy. I mentioned to my friend, an Audi, and he's like, you're talking like 400? No, half that. Still an SUV, still, not that much. When it came out, it was like $45,000 brand new. Got it for about half that 6 years later, less than 50,000, or right around 50,000 miles on it. Yeah, not bad. I'm happy with it in all the ways. The 0 to 60 went from the Mitsubishi, I think I looked up, but it was like 7.8 seconds. And this has, I think, 6.9, which is nice. Like, it's not nothing. It is an improvement. And when you punch it, it's good. It does what I need it to do in all the ways that I need it to do it. And I'm very excited, not because it's orange. I am excited because it's orange, not just because it's orange, not just because it's new, and not just because it's mine, but because of what I'm gonna get to do with it. We're gonna go all over with this thing. We got the trip to Kansas coming up. We got a trip up the mountains coming up. I have so much more wildlife I want to do. And I think this is going to do everything I need it to. I can't say, this is going to make it so much better. It's not going to increase things that much, but it's going to make a noticeable difference in my happiness. And I couldn't be happier. I have the dream color of car I've always wanted. It's perfect. It's perfect in all the ways, and I certainly hope it lasts a nice, good, long time, because that's what I'm going to need to get out of it now, is a nice, long lifespan. But from what I look up about it, because I was trying to understand, Audi being German engineered, good brand name, some of them last for a real, real long time, as long as I take proper care of it, and I plan on taking very, very good care of it. Took it to the mechanic, all good, no major mechanical problems, nothing I need to worry about. Oil changed, said everything was great, should be fine. Hey, whoever had it drove it like I do, I guess. Nice and easy, not too much driving. The fact that it's 1 year newer and still has around the same mileage as the last one, yeah. It's been taken care of, I feel like. And I'm going to continue taking care of it. All right. I couldn't be happier. Bye, everybody.